Askreddit by Nordic Modro. What is a clear sign of you getting older? When the checkout girl at the local drug mart gave me a discount and I asked why the discount and she said seniors discount. I was maybe 57 at the time. I didn't know whether to be outraged or happy about getting a few bucks off. My husband got the seniors discount at Popeyes without asking and he's only 30 full mayo. 40 is a weird age. Everyone older says you're so young. Everyone younger thinks you're so old. Congratulations, at 40, you are legally an older adult as defined by the Age Discrimination in Employment Act. When I watched professional sports and all the players looked like children. Baseball, football, tennis to etc. You start doing the math and realize you're basically watching a glorified Pee-wee game. When they tear down a building that you remember getting built. Haven't experienced that, but that feel though when a place you used to work in your hometown is now a parking lot. Haven't gone to a wedding in a very long time. Have gone to a few funerals, though. Unbelievably, I didn't go to a wedding as an adult until I was 27. Next one should be my sister in early 2023. I know people who are on a conveyor belt of random weddings and it just never seems to stop. Previous weddings had young me in attendance only because my parents had been invited and kids were allowed. When you've seen multiple decades of fashion trends come back into play with a young crowd. I laughed when I saw a pair of Jinko jeans being sold as vintage ultra baggy denim in a trendy second-hand shop near work. It boggled my mind that people actually wanted to wear those again. But my 20-something co-worker was like, oh yeah, they go for like a few $100 or more now. I then showed the youngsters pics of how impractical garbage they were if worn in rain, snow, and the developing heel strap after about a month of dragging on the ground. They all still want them. And they said it's cool because no one wears them that long anymore. Case in point, the next day I saw a teen wearing a pair, only they stopped just above her ankles. Didn't think that look could get worse, but the kids have gone and done it. You are more aware of others wasting their time. Yes. And of their wasting your time. I used to sneak out of home to go to parties. Now I sneak out of parties to go home. Your next stage of old is not going to parties in the first place. 58M. Where do I start? 30s. Didn't brush off that wipeout on my bike like I did in my 20s. 40s. Had to stop eating like I was 20. Visits to my family physician became much more frequent. 50s. Takes much longer to get out of bed. Back and joints ache continually. As I approach my 60s, my friend and family pool is getting smaller as they start to pass on. Spend more time reminiscing about the past than looking to the future. Life goes by quick. Don't waste it. I wish there was a way to know you are in the good old days before you've actually left them, and eat burner. I'll be 35 in 4 days and I miss all my old friends that had families and moved on. Hair growing in places where hair shouldn't be. Seriously, what is this bullshit that I have to shave my ears now? Making noises when sitting up and down. Our dog is getting old, and whenever she stands up, she makes these little groaning noises. I thought it was cute and funny until the day I realized that I, too, make those noises whenever I stand up. People in positions of power being younger than you. Your primary care physician looks like she's about 17. I don't care about how I look without makeup anymore. I can't even see enough to put makeup on. Lol. I sneezed the other week and threw my back out. I used to use the pull-up bar to make my arms big. I now use the pull-up bar to decompress my spine. It's also amazing for shoulder pain. valuing your sleep and at least trying to follow a decent sleep schedule. I just can't do it if I don't. In younger years I could take on an army with 4 hours. Now 6 hours isn't even enough to piss straight. Who I like their cabinetry while watching an exciting action movie. I showed my aunt Breaking Bad and she couldn't stop talking about how nice Walter's house was. 10 years ago feels like 2 years ago. 1990 is forever etched in my mind as 10 years ago. Having no idea what the latest trends are in pop culture, and not caring either. It's so freeing. When you stop going back to bed after getting up at night to pee, and just put the coffee on. That greatly depends on which nightly pee I'm on. If it's my 11 midnight pee, back to bed 2 am pee, back to bed 5 am pee, might as well get up. Those are the standard 3. Every once in a while I'll get a straggler 3:30 p. When I have one of those, it's back to bed. You start getting wisdom moments, understanding why things happened and had to, being more compassionate towards mistakes of others because you're shitty yourself and you know it. This one hits it for me. I think I have become much more patient with idiots than before. I want to add though, I also see through bullshit and have no fear calling it out. Now, I mean, who's going to smack some old man for mouthing off? Yikes. Media, songs, movies, games you grew up with start being referred to as classics. The first time I heard Nirvana on the classic rock station, I died a little inside. So, here are a few positive signs of aging. You recognize something as a dumb idea before you do it. You handle your own shit, clean up your own mess, rather than leaving it for someone else to deal with. Your immediate desire or impulse doesn't obscure every other factor when making an important decision. There are more, but you get the idea. Thank you for this. It's nice to see a positive even if I had to scroll this far down. This thread was seriously depressing me and I'm 29. Referring to people under 30 as kids. I caught myself saying he was just a kid about Anton Yelchin recently even though he was 27. Also mine's sounding like bubble wrap when I kneel down. You hear all types of pops and clicks in your body. I just tell people I'm a crunchy human. The adults in your life start dying. Man, I'm really sorry to many of you for the losses you've had to deal with. My inbox has been a tough read the last few hours. Wait until you hit 40. They drop like floods. It's insane how quickly your life can depopulate. Back pain. Waking up every day with a new random pain somewhere. Probably partly some arthritis too. The feeling of not waking up hungover sounds better to you than a night of partying. I get hungover without even getting drunk now. I genuinely, not sarcasm, not a meme, have no idea what slang teenagers use these days. I have absolutely zero context or exposure to any cultural influences teenagers even have. Edit. There are a few dozen responses at this point to my post, almost all of which have examples of young person slang. I understand none of it. I really hope some of you jokesters are pranking me by giving me some fake slang to use. That would be hilarious. But honestly, it's kind of fun reading what slang people use these days. I was pretty sure things aren't fire anymore, but maybe that's still used exclamation point. It's weird how quickly it happens. I hear interviews with people from bands I have never heard of and the interviewer is like you have 6 platinum albums, or on People magazine covers. There are people I have never seen before. I'm old, don't care. Intolerance for loud noise. The older I get, the less I can stand it.